Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Kill Cheese.
Doo-doo.
Wow, very short one today.
I told you it's going to be shorter this time.
That was two notes.
It's fine. Well, today, everybody, we have another horror story. Of course, is all we do here. We'll do other stuff eventually, maybe. Today, we have a story called The Last One by Seraph 1765.
Okay.
It was only posted 3 hours ago, so we got a raw one.
A new one.
It is really good though.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for the last one?
I'm ready.
Well, let's begin. Our main character, Cole. Cole had already told himself several times she wouldn't be the next one. And yet, week after week, he found himself in the same nightclub looking for her. What does he mean? What do you think? Killer? Serial killer?
That or, I don't know, maybe he just wants to...
A tickler? A serial tickler?
What?
You never know. People are weird nowadays.
Tickler.
He had no particular liking for nightclubs, and yet he kept coming back to the vault every Saturday night, like clockwork. He didn't even like the music, an unlikely mix of aggressive noises he knew were various genres of metal.
Mix of aggressive noises.
Pretty much.
Metal's great.
We know you love metal. Cole was once again staring at her, and he was beginning to think there was something about her. It wasn't just the way she looked, dark skinned, dark eyed, black haired, black clad, with a nose ring and tattoos on her arms. It wasn't just the way she was tall, almost tall as him, although that was why she wouldn't be the next one. Tall women always reminded him of Mama, and just the thought made him feel a little weak, a little fidgety.
Interesting.
He's a mama's boy.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, it's a little weird. Cole once again caught himself staring at her, and this time she looked like she was staring right back. There was something in her eyes, a sort of quiet intensity that kept him from looking away. She nodded up at him and motioned to the table she was sitting at. Cole thought about ignoring her and walking out of the club, but he hadn't made it this far by showing weakness and walking away from the opportunity. Instead, he slipped a hand in his jacket pocket, the cold steel of the scalpel of comfort, the pill bottle of promise of at least some measure of fun.
What? Who's bringing scalpels to the nightclub?
Cole is, of course.
I guess.
Cole sat across from the woman with a carefully crafted smile, a hand extended. "Hi, I'm Cole," he said, putting just the right amount of warmth in his voice. She shook his hand and with what looked like a genuine smile, the corner of her eyes crinkling softly. This close. She looked a little older than he expected. Maybe late 20s, early 30s. Old enough to definitely not be the next one. He keeps saying the next one.
Not the next one, but he's still like talking to her and stuff. Obviously, as he keeps saying over and over again, there's something about her.
Something. "Nice to meet you, Cole," she said. "Buy me a drink?" Usually he was the one offering to buy a drink, but if she wanted to play, he would play along. "Sure," he replied. What are you having?" "Surprise me," she replied with a giggle that sent a little shiver up and down his spine. Ooh, a little shiver. Cole nodded, went to the bar, and came back minutes later with a beer for himself and a glass of something purple involving vodka and blueberry syrup, which he ordered at random after overhearing another patron. When he set the drinks on their table, she looked up at him and gave him another smile, once again showing very white and even teeth. Once again? Did I miss the first time he mentioned the teeth?
Probably when he first went over to the table, honey.
Oh. "I'll be right back," she said, pointing toward the restrooms. Cole nodded again and sat down. If she wanted to play, that was a good start. She was even making it easy for him. Making sure no one paid attention to him, Cole quickly added the contents of the pill bottle to the woman's drink. No more than a few grams, just enough to be sure.
So he's roofing her, and then he's gonna what? Cut her?
Let's find out. When she came back, she sat, picked up her glass, and eyed it curiously, a question in her eyes and a tilt of her head. Vodka and blueberry, apparently? Cole said in reply to the unspoken question. She nodded with another smile. Cole picked up his beer bottle and they clinked the glass. To an unforgettable evening, she said with a wink. Cole felt a sudden rush of warmth when she raised her glass to her lips and drained a good quarter of it. There we go, he thought. Good girl.
Ew.
Good girl. An expression flashed across her features, too quickly for Cole to read, and she set her drink down with a raised eyebrow.
She knows.
Maybe? Do you think she can taste it?
That, or maybe he really is right and she knows that she's playing the game.
Maybe. So Cole.
Whatever this game is.
So Cole, she said, leaning towards him. I've noticed you around lately, and I was thinking, she trailed off. Thinking about what? I was thinking maybe you'd be up for some real fun. There it was again, that shiver up and down his spine. Of course, he knew it was just anticipation, but it was surprising him in its fleeting intensity. I'm always up for some fun, he said with a conspirational grin.
Conspiratorial.
Oh, there you go. There's a word. She giggled at that. Oh, you're a bad one, she said, her eyes twinkling. And I think you should meet my friends. I'm sure you'll like them.
I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going.
Surprised by her words, Cole vaguely wondered why she wasn't already under the effect of his addition to her drink. But her eyes, her grin, and for some reason, the small black dot tattooed on her forehead seemed to catch all of his attention, and the thought flew out of his mind. Your friends, he asked, tilting his head to the side. Yeah, they're having a party not far from here. Do you want to go check it out? Cole blinked twice. He knew he shouldn't have been leading the conversation, but it was so unusual to meet a woman who made it this easy for him. He was beginning to revise his opinion of her. Maybe she would be the next one after all. There was something about her, he decided.
Again. It's like the 5th time he's decided there's something about her.
That would make it worth his while. So he finished his beer with one long swallow while she downed the rest of her drink. Cole watched with light fascination and was still staring when she stood up. One hand on the table to steady herself. Ah, there we go, he thought. Won't be long now. She retrieved a leather jacket Cole hadn't noticed, and they walked out of the club together. Where's it going?
I honestly, genuinely have no idea. What are the dogs doing?
Our puppies are in here right now. Frankie and Sadie. Frankie.
Oh, Frankie, what are you doing?
Frankie's hunting for, I don't even know, treats or something. Frankie's our French bulldog. She's a little crackhead. Then we have Sadie, the big girl, our King Corso.
And they're both tippy-tapping around.
That's our dogs, if you hear that. It'd be all right. If you have dogs, you get it. Once outside, she almost stumbled on the sidewalk and caught herself quickly, one hand on Cole's shoulder. He smiled almost to himself, and her hand slid down from his shoulder to his arm. He moved closer to her, and she wrapped her arm around his. She really wanted to play, it seemed, and Cole was pleased to play along.
I don't think she knows she's playing a game. Maybe. I don't know. This story's going to throw me for a loop. I know no matter how it ends, it's going to be like, damn.
We'll see. So where are your friends, he asked, keeping all the trace of anticipation out of his voice. Oh, it's not far. Let's not block that way, she replied, pointing straight ahead. While they walked in silence, she fished a paper packet out of a jacket pocket and lit a small, odd-looking cigarette with a match. And Cole smelled clove and cinnamon.
That sounds like a yummy cigarette.
I don't know what the fuck that's about. It's weird. They stopped. Spicy. They stopped in front of an old townhouse. The woman brushed her hair out of her face and looked into Cole's eyes. There we are, she said. Want to go in? Cole fleetingly wondered what kind of party could be going on in the empty-looking, eerily silent building. Probably not a fucking good one.
No.
He opened his mouth to say something. He didn't know what. Maybe no, I've changed my mind. But that twinkle was back in her eyes, and there was something like a slight buzz deep in his skull. Sure, let's go, he heard himself say. He has the wrong fucking heads talking. She took him by the hand and led him inside. The foyer was empty and completely dark aside of what light filtered in from outside. They crossed the foyer towards a sagging door, and she gestured for him to walk through. "Party's in there, Cole," she said. "My friends are waiting for you."
No. Well, it sounds like she's about to kill him.
Cole barely had time to hear the cold tone that crept into her voice. When something hit him hard in the small of the back, he stumbled forward, tripped on something he couldn't see, and fell to his hands and knees. Dizzy by the suddenness of it, he scrambled around to face the woman. The darkness was deep enough that he could barely see his hands in front of his face. And from somewhere to his left, he heard a soft intake of breath, a softer exhalation, and the scent of cinnamon and clove driftly fainting in the still cold air.
Drifted faintly, not driftly fainting.
Oh, whatever. "What's going on?" he asked. "I said you should meet my friends," came the woman's voice, this time from somewhere behind him, sounding cold and tight. Was she angry? Who cared if she was? "So where are they, those friends of yours?" he shot back, trying to get to his feet. A wave of dizziness took him, and he stumbled back to his knees. "Look around, Cole. They're all here," came the reply. Cole did look around in the cold darkness, and he heard footsteps. "Hi, Cole. Remember me?" said another voice. Not the woman from the nightclub, someone else. A voice he'd heard before, years ago. He never forgot a voice, a face, or a name. Someone materialized out of the darkness, and he knew her as soon as he saw her. The shoulder-length blonde hair, the small upturned nose, those wide blue eyes. Nicole. She'd been his first, way back when.
Oh, God. These are all the people that he's killed.
Cole froze. Not in fear, that was for them, but with a sudden cold realization that somewhere down the line, he messed up and he was getting caught.
Wow.
But he couldn't have messed up. He'd always been so careful with the drugs and the drains and the scalpel. He couldn't have messed up, or could he? He tried to reply, but a hand on his shoulder froze the words in his throat. A hand colder than ice. Another hand grasped his ankle, and the cold numbed him. And they kept appearing out of the darkness, looking exactly like they'd had when he played with them.
Ew.
Nicole, Carla, Sylvie, Renee, Pauline, Kirsten, Samantha. And every time one of them came into view, another icy hand gripped him. And he felt himself being pulled downwards. He tried to shout, but no sound passed his lips. He felt cold and numb, and the darkness closed slowly around him. And the last thing he saw was a woman from the nightclub, smoking and looking down on him, her eyes twinkling like cold, distant stars in the dark.
Oh, my. Full circle moment.
Karma is a bitch.
So you're not even getting
Always.
caught like by the cops, not even a police investigation or anything. That was like full on getting what you deserve.
Karma by ghost.
Karma by the ghosts of the people you've killed.
The one and only comment. Good old karma. Might have taken a while to catch up to him, but it got there in the end.
Yep.
Very fucking true. Karma always comes around.
Mm-hmm.
Care nobody fucking says. It's just karma, man.
Yep.
But yeah, that was the last one by Seraph 1765.
That was a very good one.
Very good story.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to add to the story? Karma's a bitch. About it.
There are some other words to use than something. That's my only comment.
Something? What do you mean something?
He kept saying something like 20 times.
Oh, there's always something. Something her, something
yeah.
whatever.
Well, like I get it. It's kind of emphasis and, author's choice and everything like that. But it was kind of like, all right.
I'm about the story, not how he fucking wrote it, man.
Oh. It was good.
Wow. Great fucking analysis. We love it.
I think I mean, you could definitely expand that and kind of have it like a short story, not like a flash fiction kind of thing. I feel like it could have been like expanded upon a little bit. This idea is a really good idea, though.
Well, there you go. Well, everybody, that was it for today. We will be back on a Saturday. And if you want to submit your stories, email us, DM us, blah, blah, blah. Get it to us somehow.
Yep.
We're everywhere. Video, audio, blah, blah, blah. We're everywhere. You can find us anywhere, everywhere. You can never escape us. Just like Cole couldn't escape his karma.
Never.
But as everybody, we will see you all on Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.